Whether we want money or a relationship or whatever in life, it's always depends on the vibration that we are emitting, right? And that's something that we can learn to do that deliberately. But very often we are just running unconscious patterns, right? We are not even aware. Yeah, my name is Judith. Very warm welcome to the channel Twin Flame Essentials. It's all about your journey. And today I want to talk a little bit about fear and other emotions that are trapped within your system, and why those emotions are big blocks to your twin flame union. And so they are kind of hiding you, right? They're just making it impossible for your twin to recognize you in a way, right? You are not visible on an energetic level to them, although you have been when you met for some reason, right? But then to various degrees, you fall back into old patterns, right? So very often, when we, for example, are very codependent, very clingy, very needy, then we would maybe be like very open and independent or interdependent when we meet our twin on some level, and then we would like cling and hold on to him, and we would think that this love is like dependent on this other person, or we cannot have this love without this other person. When in truth it's this other person is a reflection and is coming into your life because this person belongs there once you vibrate your true essence. So yeah, it's all about like releasing stuff, right? Unlearning, shedding, releasing. It's nothing that you really have to learn. There are some things to learn, but just to let you know, there's nothing that you do not already have. Yeah, that's good to know, isn't it? Yeah. So the question is always, how do you get access to those things? And one of the big blocks are trapped emotions, or emotions that are keeping you trapped. And for me, for example, this was fear. So in general, along the twin flame journey, this is often described as pain. Yeah, that the other person is like turning his or her back on us and like rejecting us, sometimes even blocking us, whatever. And that's painful, right? And this pain is exactly mirroring something that you've already experienced before. Yeah, that's the mirroring that's going on. And so you can really rely on that. Those are really gold nuggets. But painful gold nuggets, right? You just have to know how to deal with them. But they're not wrong. Everything that you're experiencing along the journey is valid and is absolutely meant for you, right? Not against you. There's nothing wrong with going through those things. If you need assistance in moving through certain upheavals, if you're feel stuck on the journey, then reach out. You find a link to my offers in the description box. And yeah, so you could also be trapped in sorrow. You could also be trapped in other painful emotions, like feeling rejected. And of course, it's always like intertwined, and we have many different flavors of those emotions. But really what I want to say is that certain things can be mirrored by our twin flame. And so you would maybe experience the pain by him not being with you. But in my case, it was fear. And so my twin flame could not, it was not part of our contract for him to mirror this to me. So other players in my life mirrored this fear, this whole theme of panic and fear for me, and I had to move through that, right? That was like there was no other way, right? And it took a lot of time for me to see that all of this has to do with my twin flame journey. But because it was not about the love relationship, it had nothing to do with romance. So I was like neglecting it a little bit, right? So same with money, right? If you have money issues, that's also, everything is part of the twin flame journey. Why is that? Where are you stuck? What kind of patterns are running the show, right? And you have to work through all of this. And the thing is that when you face those deepest wounds, you become almost invincible then, right? Because you know there's nothing that you cannot face. And you also have the experience that those things, even those big things, can be released, and that you can be free of those emotions, right? It's not that that you don't maybe meet certain people anymore. It's not that you don't experience certain situations anymore. But the way you relate to them, the way you react or don't react, changes. All of a sudden you realize your nervous system has shifted, right? And it's all about the nervous system. It's in fact about the energy body and also about the body, right? The cellular level, because a lot of things are also like stored really deep down in our tissues, in our organs, and so forth. So, of course, it's easier then to release them, or it becomes possible even to release them once the energetic imprints or the energetic links, the energetic programming is released. So that's all about my work, right? To release that. But just what I want to say is that I experienced also my body then changing, and I experienced also like myself discovering certain exercises and things that helped me along, right? If you want to check that out, the exercises that I do for my nervous system are called somatic exercises. I'm sure there's a lot out there on YouTube. You can just Google that. And maybe you find something that is inspiring. So those exercises help to release a lot of tension. But still you need to do the inner work, right? And once you have those tools in place, then you have everything you need to meet your twin flame, yeah. And you will find along the way that it feels sometimes to move through those things, sometimes feels like a distraction. Or it can feel like a distraction because you move away a little bit from this topic of romance altogether, and then you maybe think, oh, it's not about my twin, it's not about romance at all, and I'm done with this, I'm done with the person. But that's really not what it is. It's for a reason that the focus shifts, right? For you to find the opportunity to dive deep, to move through the shadow, and to move, for example, for me to move through this fear, come out the other side, and then choose where do I want to look, and then after clearing all of that, now all of a sudden, because I'm like done with that, so to speak, now all of a sudden I have the choice, right? Where do I want to focus now? Because life is not in the same way forcing me to focus on this unresolved issue anymore. Where previously, like, it was a lot about that, and now I'm free to focus where I want to focus. Now, then you become free, right? And you can focus on romance again, or you can focus on building your finances. All of those things that we twin flame teachers, we always recommend, right? Where you need to look and where you need to go. And it's not wrong to do that whenever, but really you cannot skip the part of moving through those uncomfortable parts of your soul, right? And to dive deep. So yeah, it's really hiding as if you're hidden behind a wall, and your twin flame cannot feel you, and you become very magnetic and attractive to your person once you shed this and you resolve this, right? Yeah, and that's also the point in time then when it shows who is your twin flame. Yeah, are you dealing maybe with a false twin flame, or is this person your true twin flame, right? It'll show. But that's for sure for another video, to talk about false twin flames. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. And as always, I wish you a beautiful day. Take care, everyone, and I see you in the next video. Bye for now.